Welcome back to the Gen Z Speaks podcast. I don't remember the last time we did this, but we're back. With me today, my usual co-hosts, Matt Gutierrez. How you doing, man?
I don't know, man. New Year, say me.
Okay, all right, we'll move on. The other co-host, Jenish. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. New Year's. I'm excited for this year. A lot to come.
Yeah. So we haven't done this in a minute. I think it clearly shows. It's been 2.5 months. I don't think we've ever gone throughout the last year and a half. We haven't. I think we've almost always done it at least once a month. Yeah. So this is on us. We're sorry. We've been gone, but we're back. Hopefully better. Um. So where do you guys want to start this? Like who? Yeah. What are we doing here right now?
Maybe we could just start off with a yearly recap, like what happened in 2022 and kind of talk about our year. I know, Ibrahim, maybe you want to speak on some of the, progress you've made in your career as an actor slash comedian slash movie producer.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say comedian, but actor, filmmaker. Yeah. Well, you graduated college. Me and
Well,
Jenish
both of us
graduated.
did.
No, only me and you did.
Yeah,
Matt
me and you.
graduated
Yeah, both of
2021.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, we both graduated college. It's a very interesting time in my life. I think all of ours lives where we're trying to figure out who we are as people, and figure out our calling. Um, yeah, it was a really. I think 2022 was truly one of the most transformative years from my life because I started to take risks for the first time in my life, and I just I don't know, I really just prioritized what I really really wanted to do at the bottom of my heart, and I just listened to my gut, and yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, man. I think overall 2022 was good. Um, I was going through a rut at the end of 2021, and 2022 happened, and everything was working out. And then it's funny because the same time period, 14 months later, I'm back in this weird rut. Um, with
What
just
is
I don't
this
know,
rut?
a rut,
Yeah,
as in
what do you mean?
like a rut is. You
Like a
never heard that word?
dilemma?
That talks.
Like a dilemma?
Yeah, like
Okay.
something like interpersonal problems. Like, that's what like a rut is. It's like you go through something that you're trying to get out of. Um, I don't know, just career wise, I feel really weird right now, to be honest. Um, I don't know, it's weird. Earlier this year, I felt like very foggy for the past 2 years, from like 2020 to like the beginning of 2022. Like my brain didn't feel like up to speed. I just didn't feel very like maddish, if that makes sense. And then I started feeling like energized again and like on it. And like after I think like a week ago, a week and a half ago, I feel very odd again. Like it don't feel like me. So it's part of life. There's ups and downs, and you just got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of cycles always going on every year.
Always.
Ibrahim, you mentioned you took a lot of risks. You want to elaborate on what
Yeah,
risks you
expand,
took?
bro.
Expand and like what does made you take them? Because you said that you didn't take risks your whole life, and then all of a
Whoa, I
sudden,
didn't say that. My whole life I went without
is that not
never
what he said,
taking.
Matt? He said he didn't take risks his whole life.
No, I didn't say that. I
Well,
said
you,
I started to take more risks. That's what I
Oh,
said.
okay,
Play
okay.
back the tape, Jamie.
All right,
No.
my fault, my fault.
Jamie.
Joe Rogan reference.
I know, man.
I know, but somebody who's listening might not know. Okay, regardless. So, risk, I mean, like what you're saying, Matt, I kind of resonate with that. I Graduating from college was one of the most scariest things that I ever did because it's like, what now, right? Throughout college, my major was politics, philosophy, and law. I was pre-law, and the goal was to go to law school, right? And I've enjoyed law. Don't get me wrong; it's an interesting field sometimes, uh, only sometimes. But I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast. But yeah, so freshman year, man, I took this introduction to cinema class, and it was just one of those things where you go in the room and you really resonate with something, and I really resonated with films. And the way my professor was talking about movies, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And so I took more film classes over the course of college. Um, and I switched my, not my major, but I added a minor of cinematic arts. And so, film class after film class, I started writing scripts, and then I was like, wait a second, what if I could actually be one of the characters that I'm writing? And I took this acting class my senior year. It was yeah, what's been like a year and a half, and again, it's one of those things, man. I you just fall in love with something, and it's really like I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, so I've just started making films myself last year, 2022. Risks wise to your question, yeah, man, like I financed my first film, Aya with him. Hopefully it'll be, I mean, not hopefully, it is going to come out in the next month. Um, just put in the money that I'd saved up from my internships and just invested in myself, and then continued just pursuing more and more films. Did a play, and yeah, it's a complete 360 switch, right, from going to be a lawyer to an actor and filmmaker. And yeah, to supplement my acting, to feel more comfortable on stage. I've always wanted to do this, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I started doing stand-up comedy, and I'm doing it one because a lot of people ask me like, why are you? So it's I think I can be funny sometimes. I try to be. So I was like, why not just you know experiment it? And so I did. I performed at some clubs here in LA, and it's really helped me. One, not just grow as an actor, but also grow as a person. It's really good for your communication skills. And man, like when you try to make someone laugh and nobody laughs, it's the biggest like character test, and you just feel like you can do anything. And I don't know. It's one of those things where it really helps you build up your confidence. And so, yeah, those are the creative stuff that I've been pursuing for the last what, year and a half now? Yeah.
I think the most respectable part about it is I think a lot of people have these like passions that kick in once you're in college, but they feel like, oh, I'm already in pre-law. Why would I wasted 4 years of my life to now pursue something else, right? But they forget and they don't realize that you have an entire life in front of you, right? Like those 4 years are very minuscule to the next 20, 30 years of your career. And so sometimes it's worth it, I think. And I think that's probably the most respectable part.
Yeah, and I think that's what college really is. It's about trying to figure out yourself and figure out what you want to do, right? We have like obviously college is for degree and getting your education, but I think a big part of that is figuring out who you are and what you want to do because there's a lot of majors where they're not really getting much education in terms of like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of job opportunities, but maybe in those 4 years they can figure out what they're interested in, or maybe find like they have elective classes like for example what Ibrahim took with acting, and you can find other interests that might spark your curiosity.
Yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. Like my major in college was politics, philosophy, and law. That allowed me to do the political consulting internships that I did, and the money that I made from that I invested for the film. So everything, it wasn't like I don't think I wasted years, right? Because I was really interested in politics, still am. But it's just, when you do something, you just feel like you want to be comfortable in your own skin doing it. And, I feel like filmmaking and acting for me is that. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so like the money that I saved up, I was able to do it because my major was politics, right? And I worked at these firms over the summers, juggled multiple jobs, and just saved up a saved up some money that I ended up using. So it all worked out. But yeah, college is a place they say to figure yourself out, see what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And I think it is literally the only time in your life where you can take risks, even if it means switching up your entire career arc, if you will. So, yeah.
I think you could take risks later on as well. I don't think it's like doesn't
Well,
happen.
let me rephrase. You're right. Like in our early 20s, at least, or like in
I think it's easier to take risks early. Yeah, I think that's true. Because
Yeah.
like things that we do now don't really affect us, right? Like if we make a shitty decision or like a poor purchase, we can always just like bounce back from it, right? We could always sell it. We could always bounce back. We don't have responsibility of a family yet.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We have no kids or wives. So,
Yeah.
it is fairly easy to take risks. It's not like, oh my God, I did that. Like I had to support my
Right.
family, but I did no. It's very yeah. You just have to make the move, the first move.
Absolutely. Janu,
You don't feel
tell us a
weird,
little
Jenish?
bit.
Huh?
Did you feel? what did you feel weird when you graduated? Like, describe how you felt, because I was honestly just crippling with anxiety my
Yeah,
graduation
I
day.
feel like your whole life there's always been a goal set for you, you know? Like, okay, graduate high school, get into X college. After you get into college, get X GPA, get an internship, graduate with this GPA. So there's always like a goalpost set for you, and after you graduate, you have to set your own goalposts. And I think the that aspect of setting your own goalposts can be a bit overwhelming for someone who's never done it. Like for me, it's always just been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get a degree, all that. So I've never had that experience in my life where I set like like a long term goal that I set for myself, with nobody else's input or anything like that, right? So I think, and thinking about those goals and planning those goals can be overwhelming, I think.
You feel like the goals that you had set before you got to college were kind of like your family expectations of you? Is that what you're saying, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, societal expectations. Like when you go to high school, you want to go to college. Yeah, of course. I think there's always an aspect of that. Obviously, I got to choose my own like major and everything. So I wanted to do something in tech. So I was about to do computer science. But at the end of the day, those goals are still kind of just preset for you, because I mean they're not really preset, but like your family always like go to college, get an education, all that. So
Yeah, they're just expectations
yeah, yeah,
that you have to
and you
meet.
don't
Yeah.
have to follow those, but I did follow them, so I kind of just it was a smooth path in that regard. But after you graduate, you got to make your own expectations, and I think that that aspect of making your own expectations is because I could just work forever, and that could be my life, or I could set higher goals for myself and try to achieve towards those. So you know in that regards, I think for graduating, that's definitely that aspect change.
I could see that.
Yeah, you
I
have to be.
honestly, I felt the opposite. Like I felt very liberated afterwards because I didn't have to like go to somebody else's expectation. I guess. Like I know it's a lot hard. I think the transition was probably harder. But I felt like now that I'm done with what I have to do, I can do what I want to do, if that makes sense. But the problem is like, I mean, I've jumped careers a bunch of times now, right? So it's like, what do I what do I want to do, and like what's a common denominator that I can chase? And I think that's been the difficult part, the scary part at least. It's only scary though if you're afraid of like the unknown, right? But if you learn to love the unknown and learn to love like life isn't linear, then it could be pretty fun. But
Yeah, for 2022, one of the biggest lessons that I learned was that life is not linear. My whole life I had this like plan in my head. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And then the pandemic hit, and just going to college and everything just turned everything upside down. And now that I'm not 100% clear, I mean, I know what I really want to do, but it's just a hard path up. It's just, I'm not gonna lie, it's very intimidating not knowing what lies in the future. But I guess there's no point in fretting about it because you can only control the now, the present, and so you might as well, make the most of what you have and what you're thinking about at this current moment, because that's all that we can control, right? I think sometimes that's what I struggle with the most. I just get like lost in this thinking phase where I'm just thinking, what ifs? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? But it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's a what if for a reason, right? So I don't know. It's something that I
very
need to work on
daunting.
more. Yeah.
So do you guys have any New Year's resolutions for this year, or do you guys believe in that? Any plans or goals for 2023?
I was just talking with my coworkers about that Tuesday. It's like I have goals that I want to hit, but I don't believe in like New Year's resolution. I just believe in like starting now, or like if I had something going on last year, continue progressing and getting better at it. Hopefully like nearing that goal. Um but you know what's something that my coworker mentioned? I think that's a pretty good New Year's resolution. Like he mentioned the amount of trips he wants to take, stuff that he wants to do, not really like accomplish like work wise or like monetary wise. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Hmm. Like travel trips.
I mean, hope not mushroom trips.
uh, he, there's always so much that I want to do in a year. I don't know, man. I want to do so many things. Sometimes something that I want to call myself out on is that I only think of goals that are reachable. Like I know some things that I can do, but it's like, oh my God, that's gonna take a whole lot. Am I really gonna be able to do that? And I limit myself. But because I don't want this idea of me not meeting the goal, I kind of like hinder myself a bit. I think all of us have like a tendency to do that. That's why I'm always like reluctant about New Year resolutions. I don't know. Maybe that's a toxic way of thinking.
Do you have any specific?
A specific, I don't know, man. I'm in a really weird place right now. I like I don't know, man. Like specifically, okay, let me give you an example. Like I want to make a feature film, right? I want to finish like 2 scripts. Now I know I can do it, but I'm like, okay, I think one is good enough. Like if I can just truly focus on one, I feel like I want to do so many different things that
Mm.
I'm like, can I really do all of them? I probably can if I manage my time accordingly. But because I don't want this taint thing on my idea that I wasn't able to do this, I limit myself to only a handful of things and really concentrate on them as opposed to just having a bunch of things, which can work either way. It can be a positive and negative. But yeah, I don't know, man.
No, I feel that. I feel like I feel like we juggle a lot of things, and the more we juggle, the less we're able to focus and like really excel on one thing. But it's like we're doing all the things we want to do, right? Like we're enjoying everything we're doing. So is it wrong? I don't know, but maybe we won't succeed as quickly.
Yeah. What do you think, Jenish?
Jenish, please tell us your New Year's resolutions.
I don't. Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you, Matt. I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions. It's kind of just like uh, whatever goals or things I wanted didn't complete in last year, and I didn't fully reach them. Uh, they just move on to this year and then continue. So, um, I think I think your the way you approach goals is healthy, Ibrahim. I think because sometimes what I do is I put too many things down, right? And then it's like, well, I don't really realistically I don't have time for all there's no way I can accomplish all these. So I think it's good to focus on one thing. Obviously, you don't want to limit yourself in terms of just being, hey, I can't do that. You don't want to underestimate yourself because you can probably do a lot, but you also don't want to over estimate
Or
yourself
extend
and
yourself.
say I could do everything, I could do all of this when you have a limited amount of time every day. So yeah, you guys want to
Yeah,
also
balance.
what's up?
I was just saying balancing things out, but go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, time management, obviously. Do you guys also want to talk about kind of what we want to do with this podcast in terms of you know going more into films and more like a review style?
Yeah. I listen, we're still gonna do interviews of people in politics, business, and tech, right? But I think the our intention behind discussing films was because it's not just to review a film coming out. It's like I think films offer like a really deep perspective on life. Like a lot of them open up philosophical topics. Good films, and I think it allows us to explore ideas and topics more. And so we're gonna be doing more of that. Yeah, we're gonna try our best to do more of that, and just really dive like deep into things that films talk about.
So I think the whole aspect of films is that it's an anchor, right? It's like an anchor for our conversation, and then we can talk about the stuff we would still talk about, um, but just under like a different premise of an actual of like a film rather than just ideas that we just spew out, right? So it's like
Yeah.
more interconnected.
It's more organized,
Yeah.
right?
I would agree.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, and I'm pretty excited because films allow for conversations, of so many different topics in terms of like, that's kind of what our podcast is like. We talk about so many different things, and I think films allow for a more narrowed lens on a specific topic, but the topics are still going to be varied, right? But at least
Right.
if a film's on technology or something, we'll just be focused on that for that podcast because that's what the film is on and the related topics of what the film's on. So, yeah, it'll be a better. Hopefully, it'll be a better experience in terms of that.
Yeah, I think it will, and I think the common denominator is that we all enjoy watching films, right? We all like we genuinely enjoy it. Maybe we don't enjoy the research aspect so much of like random topics, but we enjoy like saying our opinions on things, and we just enjoy watching films and like critiquing them at the end and taking like a review. And so why not? We uh we watched this film with Timothy Chalamet called Bones and All. That was actually supposed to be our first pod like 2 weeks ago. And then
Two
we
weeks,
watched it. What's that?
3 weeks ago, I think.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah, time flies. We
Man,
went
oh
to the theater
man.
to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it ended up not being expectation, and we felt just very uncomfortable with the film in general. It's like this cannibalistic film about like romance and love, and I mean it was like
Eating people while doing the
yeah,
romance and love.
Yeah, literally eating
yeah,
people.
like
And
that was how they showed their
I
love.
still don't understand the point of the film right now, even after thinking
I've
about
been
it.
thinking about it, and I don't understand either, bro. Like it was very
Well,
odd. Go ahead.
No, you go, you go.
I was gonna say it was just a very artsy film. I don't understand what Timothy Chalamet saw in it to like, because I'm sure he didn't make a whole lot in it. It was like, it was an indie film, and so like, what presence did he bring in? And another thing is, he's already like a skinny guy, but he was beyond anorexic in the film, right? So he like I looked it up afterwards, and he lost like 30 pounds for that film, for an indie film where he probably wasn't even making like a whole lot. I think that's bizarre.
Well, I respect that because it's not just about the money, right? It's like maybe he saw the
But
potential
what
of.
did he see?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he saw. I'm trying to think. I think I told you something. Remember what I told you about the film? Maybe it was a critique on, like, it showed people what do you call people who do cannibalism? Is there a word for them?
Cannibals?
Do cannibalism?
Cannibals? Like, yeah, that were cannibals? Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
cannibals,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, cannibals.
Cannibals, right? Yeah, so cannibals, right? Like it's an extreme condition. Obviously, they're murdering people and they're eating them. But I guess the film tried to show that maybe they can have a place in society and we don't judge them because not judge them. Sorry, what am I
I
saying?
definitely don't think that.
Edit this out. Sorry. What? No. Look. I'm in a very. I think what I'm trying to say is it was saying to really understand the other's perspective, like what is making them do what they're doing. I'm not. One second. I'm not saying no. You should definitely. No, people should not eat other people. I'm not saying that. Please don't
Okay,
cancel
that was
But
me.
hilarious.
the problem was this was in like what I didn't understand is like if it was like the movie like The Joker, right, where it says like there's these people in society that need help and we should help them. That's kind of like the premise of Joker, where there's these people that are just being like ignored or just disregarded in society, and then they're kind of building up and getting mad, right? That's I kind of understand that. Well, in this movie, it's like it's kind of a fantasy universe, right? There's like these eaters and like they can smell stuff like
They
that.
can smell the other person, so they
No,
can
they can
smell other
smell. They
eaters
can
who are
smell other
cannibals.
cannibals. Like, oh, I smelled you. Like, it doesn't make any like. It's based on a fantasy book, so I'm not
Oh, it's
sure.
based on a book.
Yeah, it's based on a book. Yeah.
Yeah. So how
Bones and
I
all.
took the film, I took it's like a dystopian world, right? Where there are these what are they called? Eaters, right?
Eaters. Yeah.
There's eaters, but there's like a community of them that aren't interconnected, right? And so once you meet another one, it's like wow, it's like whoa, there's another one of me, and they get very excited, right? I think you could take that in terms of like kind of how you're saying, bro, Jenish, like in the Joker, how there's people out there um, that don't really like belong in like a normal society,
Hmm.
and they maybe in Joker they act out or whatever, and they're wild. But I think this one might be like when one I don't want to say it like this, but like one of the outcasts at school find another outcast, they end up like binding and like becoming like a unit. And so I think it was more of that, like a
It's
dystopian
like
world trying to say there's outcasts out in the world, and although it might not be great like being a cannibal, I think like they still can love, they could still be human.
yeah, so
I
it's
think
like
that's
love no matter what you are, I guess, or like
I
how.
that's what I'm taking it as.
Yeah, that's like the best way, honestly, you can spin it because other than that, it makes no sense. Like the
Right?
ending, like I was like, what is happening? So, I guess that's.
Dude, at the end it was so gnarly. That was one of the
Oh, the
gnarliest
end.
scenes I've seen.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
but I think you guys are right. I think the Bones and All was a film about really believing in the idea that there's someone out there for everyone, like even cannibals, right? Like they found love for each other. There were some scenes that were really beautiful in the movie, though. Not the cannibal scenes. None, all of them were
No,
disgusting.
the
Don't get me wrong. I wanted to
cinematics,
puke
like
the
the
whole time.
shots were good, like and stuff
Yeah, the
like that.
shots were amazing.
No, I'm talking about the scenes where Taylor Russell, who's the lead, and Timothy Chalamet were just like. You remember that scene in the desert or something? They're just sitting
On
there
the
and
field.
just yeah, that was so
Yeah.
beautifully
I
portrayed,
was
and
thinking
they
that
were
too.
just it's this one line she said. She was like, "All I ever want to do is love you" or something. I'm a really corny guy. I thought that
Yeah,
those were
you're
pretty
very
well done.
corny, bro, in that respect.
This guy's like a
No,
mega
but those
romantic.
scenes. What?
This guy's like a mega romantic man. Like this guy.
Well,
I see the appeal, bro, but like for professional film, I think it could be done differently.
look. Would I make this film? No. Would I? If I was a production studio and this director, who by the way directed "Call Me by Your Name," which got a lot of praise at the Oscars 4 or 5 years ago, I think. But yeah, Jenish, you said the budget was $11 million.
I think it was 15 mil or 11 something.
You're on mute, Jenish. Come on now.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I think it was on 15 mil, 11 mil, something.
Yeah,
like
man.
That's absurd for that film.
Yeah. I don't think the world needed this film, to be honest with you. 15 million. I do believe in art and just expressing yourself in whatever way you want to through the medium of a film, but $15 million, man. Come on. I could have made dude, you can make 15 movies with that. Like 15 indie movies if you think about it. That can yeah, this is not yeah. What would you get out of 10? You guys out of 10?
that. Like a 3, 4.
A 3. Interesting. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, like a 3 or 4. Just because the shots were good. I don't even, dude. I told you this already. I don't think Timothy Chalamet did that well in it.
No. Look, Timothy Chalamet, he did good in my opinion.
No, I'm sorry, but I think he missed on this one. I like the guy. I
Timothy
like him as an
Chalamet was
actor,
alright.
but-
I believe the actress was better. What's her
Yeah,
name?
she was
Taylor
better.
Russell.
in my
Wow.
Yeah,
She's
Taylor Russell was better.
amazing.
Yeah.
What an actress she is.
Yeah, she's
Dude,
pretty good.
No, I think dude, that was next level, and this is like one of her first big projects, I think. But wow, she killed it, man.
Yeah,
that was
she
a
did
really
good.
Bro, Timothy Chalamet in Beautiful Boy and in The King, that was next level.
Beautiful Boy. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
And The King. The King is his most underrated performance. Nobody talks
That
about
was
it.
so good, dude. Like, that was an insane film.
Mm-hmm. He just has so
Man.
much range. I really respect him as an actor. He has so
Yeah.
much range. I don't think he should have made Bones and All, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I
The cover
agree.
of the film, isn't it beautiful, though? The cover of the film with Taylor and Timothy?
Yeah.
Dude,
a
it's
nice
so...
cover.
Dude, that made me want to watch the movie. I was like, oh my God. I wish they explored the romance part of it more. No, not like... I think the film could have been a deeper critique about love and, but it was more just about... They just wanted to show those scenes of eating, and I don't know.
I just
don't know.
Very
don't
gruesome.
understand. Maybe I need to read into it, but I don't understand why there needed to be like the whole point of the cannibalistic. It's like I don't know I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, that
Bro,
was the
what
whole
was
point
that
of the
guy's name? The guy that was obsessed with that girl,
Taylor
Taylor
Russell.
girl? What's that guy?
I
Do you remember his
totally
He
name?
did great acting, by the way.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
amazing.
that guy did phenomenal.
Yeah, that guy was amazing.
I mean,
Dude.
who's gonna watch this movie? I'm thinking, who's watching this podcast? I don't recommend to watch it, please.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Have you ever
don't
watched a
watch
review
those.
and not watched the movie? Wait, sorry.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Wait, what did you say? Wait,
Oh, I said
couldn't hear
don't
you.
watch that movie. Also,
Oh.
his name was Sully. Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. Oh, Sully. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, he should he should be nominated, bro. He did a good job as a supporting actor.
Yeah.
That was gnarly,
For an Oscar nominated for that
Yeah.
performance?
dude. For
He was-
maybe
he was
not
an
like a
amazing
support,
actor,
but
but,
I don't.
like-
I don't know if there's any other tiers. Are there any other tiers of supporting roles or no?
Supporting actor.
Because he did, dude. He did really
Okay,
good,
okay.
bro.
So
Like,
okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Is perfect. Okay, we have this character Sully, who's like a creep in the movie, right? He's like a creep that follows around the main character. So what is the point of this character? Like, what does this character do for the film? Like, I know in the end there's a climax scene with him. I get that, but like in terms of adding to the story or like the theme of love and stuff. Like, what is this guy? I guess he doesn't find love. He doesn't have
Obsession?
someone to love him. That's why he's mad. I don't know. Like, I don't understand.
Maybe it's to symbolize that sometimes we obsess about things that are never meant to be, and that we should have boundaries and limits. But in terms of your question, why I have that character, I think it made the story more interesting. Like, he came out of
Yeah.
nowhere at certain points in time, so you have to add in that element of surprise. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, dude, not every character is there for a reason. It's also there to enhance the story.
and
Um,
entertainment purposes.
Entertainment purposes too.
But I think it does add infatuation. That was probably, I don't know, man. That was a very interesting role. I've never seen it done that well in a film of like how creepy somebody can be and make you feel uncomfortable as being a viewer. Like, I've never seen that.
You know, and as we're talking, I just feel so disgusted talking about this film. Like, I went home and my family were eating beef and I just couldn't eat, dude. I couldn't eat meat the whole day. Just kept thinking about those scenes and it was just, now I don't think I could eat either today because now God, I'm thinking back on all those scenes. Yeah, just don't watch
Oh.
the movie. I don't want to be that guy who tells people not to watch R-rated film because I really support it. But this one, I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest, for your own mental health purposes.
Bro, I grubbed that night.
You're crazy. After watching people eat each other and like flesh.
It doesn't really
Human
gross me
flesh.
out. Like, I think it's a fucked up thing, but I don't think it really grosses me out.
Well,
Ooh,
maybe
wait,
you're a
it box
cannibal.
office it box officed $14 million.
Okay, so
Hey.
they didn't make their money back though because it
No,
was
they
15,
didn't.
right?
I thought 11.
15, I think, Jenish. Somewhere it was more than 10 million. Well, they probably sold it to a streamer, so it's gonna
Oh
stream.
no, the
and they'll
budget
make
was
their money
16 to
back.
20 million. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Budget.
Yeah, I just looked it up again. It was 16 to 20 million. And only
Wow.
grossed 14 million, so they lost like at least 2 to 6
It's not
million.
lost, right?
Yeah, they did lose. They
Wait,
gro-
but I think. Oh, I thought it continued throughout the lifespan of the film, no?
right now they grossed 14 million.
Oh, up to this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying just the opening weekend.
No.
$60
bro.
is ours. Or $50 from that is ours. $50 the 14 million.
Man.
I don't know, man. Yeah. What movie should so what were we gonna watch next? What was the name of the movie? White Noise?
Oh, white noise, bro.
Let's watch something that's that is
People actually watch.
yeah, people actually watch so they can watch the podcast and kind of relate.
Bro,
like, if-
white
if
noise
it's-
is number 2 on Netflix.
Oh no, I'm down to watch it. I'm just saying, like, let's watch like for the future movies. Let's watch something that more people will watch, so like they can watch the podcast and we can review it, and
Yeah.
they can have a conversation
Or-
with us.
Let's continue to watch indie movies and then get them, giving them a platform.
We can do that
Bones,
as well.
let me be honest. I really thought Bones and All would be very like interesting. Like, I knew there was cannibalism involved, but I think that was gonna be the whole thing. The whole vibe of the movie is just showing people eating people. I get it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they'll make another cannibal whatever movie.
Maybe the book was really good, and then they just adapted poorly.
Dude,
By the
I'm
way, I
getting like
think-
nauseated talking about this. But go ahead. I swear I'm not making this up.
You're wild, bro.
It's been 3 weeks since I watched this movie too. By the way.
By the way, I think we could also do films that people have already watched. Like movies that are just phenomenal, like
The
Shawshank
Godfather,
Redemption.
45 years later. The Godfather.
The God.
A deep
Bro,
dive.
why not? I
a
think
deep
people
dive on
like
America.
genuinely they're still like confused, but like have you seen Shawshank?
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah,
Beautiful
so like
movie.
at the end of Shawshank, right?
Mhm.
Like when he gets out, like I think people are still confused with
Wow,
what was
this
going
guy.
through his head.
At the end,
What?
when he gets out, he just told the whole spoiler alert. Come on,
No,
bro.
but it's dude, bro, that's the whole point, right? Like it's been out for like 30 some years. But like my whole point in this is when Morgan Freeman gets out and like how's his mindset? You know what I mean? And so like people are still confused, so we can offer like our take on that and we can offer like our opinion still.
A good idea
And it's
because
not like
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, bro. I was gonna say that's actually a really good idea because I'd love to talk about La La Land. Can we make that like a recurring thing?
Oh
Oh
my
my
god,
God.
Please.
bro.
I
Enough
just want to
with
say
La
this.
La Land.
We can
Enough.
do previous
One of-
movies as well. I'm just saying, more recent movies, like because people have so much time to digest all these movies, they've kind of probably thought about a lot of the different angles, right? But the newer
Yeah.
ones that come out, it's kind of like, it's just out. So like, it's more recent. So maybe people didn't really think about it a certain way, and we can kind of. But yeah, we could.
Yeah, we could definitely do that too, bro.
Movies.
We should do White Noise next, bro. I want to see how you guys react to it. I don't know,
Can I
man.
just say one thing about La La Land? 1 second. Let me just say this. La La Land is one of the greatest movies ever made. There's are some problems to it. Don't get me wrong, but man, I'm sorry. It's so
Yeah, I
beautiful.
disagree
I,
too,
I am
but
in
it's a
love
good
with the
movie.
film. I want to
You
make
liked it,
something
Jenish?
like
Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it.
Did
But
you
it
think it was
you
one of the
go.
best movies of all time?
No, no,
yes.
Yeah, I don't. It's honestly, bro. I rate it very low on the spectrum of a good movie.
no. It was a good musical for sure.
Oh,
So
what? Are you...
Ibrahim says it's not a musical.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it is.
I think it is.
Okay, it is. Forget the musical part. It's fine. It's great, but the love story underneath is so real, bro. Like just the. I was showing. Was it you that I showed you the scene, the last scene, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not impressed."
Yes,
at all."
bro. And I
I
told you
keep
it's
showing
like
everybody that scene, and it's like nobody wants to appreciate it, bro. It's
because it was not very good. Like they're good actors, but they weren't doing good in that film.
you know how
in my
many
opinion.
Oscars the film got nominated for?
I
think
understand it. That's still my
14
opinion,
Oscars.
though.
It was not very good. Emma Stone won an Oscar for her. She won the best leading, the leading category for the female actress that
Hey
year.
man,
She won.
I hear you. I just disagree with the Oscars.
I hear you.
I hear you. I understand.
Imagine
Nah,
just trolling.
we got to do a podcast on La La Land, bro. Come on. We want. Let's. I think just
Bro,
it's
Dude.
Okay.
no, please.
You don't like
no.
the soundtrack, Mia and Sebastian? The
I think it's
soundtrack?
very mediocre.
What? Okay, no, it's the soundtrack.
Just don't- I've already told you this, bro. I don't care for the film. I don't like the color grade. I don't like the acting performance. I don't like.
What gets me the most. It's the most. Oh my.
I know
dude.
most people have said that, and I just disagree.
What is wrong with you?
It makes me feel very uncomfortable. The way color grading and Breaking Bad makes me feel.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude. It's very saturated.
All right, it's fine. You're a lost cause.
You know?
Anyways, Babylon came out. The guy who made La La Land, he made Babylon. If you guys want to go see that, it has really
Is
bad.
it a
reviews.
musical too?
No, I don't know. Brad Pitt's in it and Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I know, man. I heard Brad Pitt didn't do so hot though.
Dude, this is such a sad reality that I'm kind of realizing as an actor is like, it's either like there's always gonna be people who are like, oh, this guy sucks. This is so bad, dude, and it's really like, God, it kind of just hurts, bro. So like anytime, like I know I like some actors and I don't, right? So now I'm just like really cautious about it because I know what it feels like, right? When like somebody sees something like, oh my God, this is amazing, and another person will be like, what is this? This is the worst piece of acting I've seen in my life. God, bro.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Okay. All right.
I don't know, but cheers to a good 2023.
Yeah. Wait? One last thing. What's
Yeah.
the most important lesson that you learned in 2022? If we can go, each of us. You can go first, Matt.
Oh, no, give me a second.
Most important. Yeah, we can take a second on it. I can keep blabbering about La La Land in the meantime.
Please, no, you're gonna hurt my head.
No thanks.
Like that one scene, bro.
Maybe you should do a solo podcast. Just talk to just the audience. Just, hey guys, today we're talking about
La La Land. It's a
Okay.
love story set in Los Angeles.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the most important lesson is that loyalty in the common age is dead, and everyone out there is self-serving. And And so you have to learn to be self-serving in respect to yourself and respect to your future.
This guy's
That's
like
the most boomer
brought
thing
the
I've
most
heard, bro.
nihilistic
No,
idea.
no, not nihilistic at all, bro. It's something like it's honestly not even a bad thing. I know I made it sound shitty because I was just trying to make it kind of funny,
Hmm.
but like no, in all reality, I don't think like especially most people out there they're gonna go work for somebody, right? And I don't think you should be loyal to that company. I don't think that that company nearly cares or needs you as much as you care and need them. And so I think you just everybody has to realize that you got to do good for you, and you know I think most people out there don't want to work for somebody, but those same most people probably have to work for somebody because they don't know how to do their own thing, or
Okay.
maybe they don't have the skill set built up yet, and they're still learning. Um, but don't take shit. Like don't take shit from companies. Don't take shit
Okay.
from people that don't care about you or don't have that same compassion for
Yeah,
you
yeah. No, I needed
that
that
you may have
context
towards
because
them.
I thought you meant loyalty in terms of like relationships as well. Like
Oh
it's
no
like
no no.
in terms of like okay, a employer, I guess. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. What about you, Ibrahim?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I would say similar. Not thing. The most. One of the things I learned is that you have to mostly in life expect things from yourself and not others. It takes some time to really understand that, but once you do, you just become more efficient and more clear-sighted on things. I feel like once you understand that, it's you out there at the end of the day, and you have to do what you have to do. Um, the most important lesson
But
that
real
was
quick, before you say it, bro, just a little piece. Like nobody owes you shit, right? Nobody in this world owes you shit. No matter how hard you work or what effort you put in or whatever you do, you owe yourself everything. So if you're gonna do it, then do it for yourself, not for the company, not for an expectation of something to happen because of it. Just know that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but then like, what about family or like friends or like they have responsibilities that people owe? But you're right. At the end of the day,
At
you
the
have
end
a
of the day, it's
point.
just you, bro.
Yeah, and it's hard. Like again, it's really hard to grasp. But yeah, you're right, man. It's just yeah. The less expectations you have from others, the better it is, and you should just be more accountable to yourself. I think the most important lesson in 2022 that was reinforced to me was this idea. A friend of mine told me, and I don't know who said this, but it's really beautiful. It's what if it all turns out even better than you ever imagined? And I think going through the ups and downs of the year that I did, I just kind of had that at the back of my head, and I want to have that again in 2023. But I think that's what I learned. Sometimes, like I said before, you get in these constant like thinking traps. You just think, 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 think. But it's like, what if everything actually does turn out even better than you ever imagined? It can. Why not? And yeah.
Um, okay. For me, I have two things I want to say. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there are lessons. So the first one is, just write stuff down. This is simple, but like I feel like at least for me, I've had this problem where I keep everything on my mind. For what I have to do for work, personal commitments, things I have to do, for other people, like just everything I used to just keep in my mind, but writing stuff down and then kind of expanding on it, having like a goal system, just makes it so much like easier. And this is for everything, not just like long-term goals. Like if you have a small task to do, I have something for work, I have to write a program. I make a, write it down, I expand on it, what I'm gonna do today, what I have to do tomorrow to accomplish that goal, and I just have that system for everything because there's only you have a certain amount of brain capacity, and if you keep just keeping stuff in your brain, it's just you're gonna get overwhelmed and you're just be like, okay, I don't know what to do, and then you're just not gonna be able to do anything. So the first thing is write stuff down. The second one is kind of corny, but I realize like in life there's a lot of love and there's a lot of this in general there's like a lot of love and just in the world, and you gotta open yourself to it because I feel like a lot of times people are there's so much love out there, but you're really close to it. You don't really accept it. You have so much other stuff going on in your life. You're not really caring about the love that's out there. I don't know what there's no other word. It's just love, right?
Makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah, there's just so much love out there, and I think opening yourself up to it is important because you might think like, there's no one out there for me, there's no friends there for me, but maybe you got to look into yourself and see kind of, hey man, like maybe I need to be the one that kind of can accept it because it's hard to accept love as well. So I think those are the two things that are most
Are you
important.
saying you found love?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately.
No, I
Hey man, you
didn't.
never know. 2023 might be it.
Hopefully 2023. Yeah.
2023, Mr. Jenish. Hey man, I hope it happens.
I hope everyone
But
finds
you're right.
love.
At the end of the day, it's yourself that will love yourself the most. Sorry,
Bro,
go ahead. What
everything
you-
happens in due time.
Yep.
The right
Yeah.
friends come in due time. You just have to. The thing is, I think when opportunities come, you have to acknowledge this is an opportunity, and then you have to acknowledge whether you want to embrace it or not, right? And good friends come in due time. And if you embrace it, there will be lifelong friends. Like we've been friends for a long period of time, right? And I think we embrace that. We could have been like assholes to each other, like, no, we don't want to hang, or like whatever, right? And then maybe we wouldn't have this right now, but we
Yeah.
do. Like love happens, dude. Like good, I mean, for us, right? We're all into chicks. Like good girls are out there, and when you embrace them as like a good girl and like that's the person I want, then it's like, but you can be an asshole to them, right? And then that opportunity's gone, and who knows? You might not have that opportunity again. So I think as long as you embrace good opportunities, good things happen.
Yeah. By the way, and
Yeah.
when I was talking about love, kind of what Matt said, it's about everything, not just like love and a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Love and like family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, everything. So and even just like strangers, meeting people. You want to think you want to think the most of the other people. You don't want to judge them or undermine them when you meet new people. You want to think the best of them, and then you can learn something from them or just have fun with them. So yeah.
I agree, bro. Hey, to end the podcast, bro, can we all make a pact?
A pact.
Yeah.
It
Quit our
already is, it's
jobs
a
and move to
podcast.
Bali for 3 months.
Quit job? Quit our jobs?
Yeah, bro.
I don't have to quit my job. I
move
can
to
work for
Bali?
Belly.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
actually. Neither of you do. I'm so down to quit my job, sell my car, and move to Bali, bro, for a year.
Move
Bro,
to Bali. No, I
living
love
there?
LA. I can't leave.
I think you should do
I
it,
can't
man.
leave LA for more than a month. I'm in love with the city. I can't leave.
Bro,
For
living
me,
there would
for me, I
literally
like.
be cheaper than
I'm
my
not
car
into
payment.
that whole. I'm not like I'm into it, but I'm not like super into that whole tropical. I like cities, kind of like
City
Bro,
boy.
I'll
urban
take you to
cities.
a city in
City
Bali if you
boy.
come with me.
City boy. No,
City
but
boy.
no, but I
boys.
definitely like the more urban lifestyle. So I'm
Bro, I'll
not.
throw you on the back of my moped and I'll take you to a city in Indonesia. I got you, bro.
Maybe you can find love there. You never know. You find love in the most unexpected of places and unexpected times. What do I know, though? All right.
Not
See you
much,
guys.
man.
I know nothing. All right. See you guys next week, hopefully.